I've just realized what a huge mistake I made. I planted trees. Too many trees. Now we can't grow food. Oh no. Is there a mod for this? Welcome back to Mordalgo, where I'm using the concept of the 15-minute city to build a pedestrian utopia in Cities Skylines. Let's go build a food forest. The first thing I did was take a look at how our farm is doing. And it's not doing great. I think we can do a lot better. So in episode 3 of this series, we talked about how industry fits into a 15-minute city concept. And I created a bunch of little farms within a neighborhood to address food security issues. But our city has grown, so we need a large urban farm, and that's where food forests come in. So typically farms you see out in the country, and there's just land upon land upon land. When it comes to City Skylines, that's how most of us build our farmland, out in a country type area with lots of space to expand. However, it's important to me that we look at industry differently in this build and stick with our 15-minute city concept. So essentially, a food forest is a large plot of land purchased in an urban area. The land is then essentially recultivated to farm on. Lucky for us, we don't have to recultivate anything. We are building a pedestrian utopia right from the start. We are going to be solving food security right from the start. So we've actually set aside this land specifically to be an urban food forest for our entire community. Something that was really important to me when I was approaching creating this food forest, this urban farm, was to not include any of the large processing buildings or animal pastures. This is purely a food forest, and there's no large processing facilities. It's more of a simple harvest and store and provide right to the community right away. So maybe through a CSA where we put together boxes of everything that's in season, and our community pays a low price and they each come pick up their boxes. And to me, that's one of the most exciting things about City Skylines is you can reimagine anything. So industry does not have to be used in the traditional way. You can do something different, like creating an urban farm. We've been using the campus DLC very differently in this city. We have created an entire church complex with a home for displaced youth with community daycare facilities, created an animal rescue with a whole vet center and rehabilitation place for animals. We've created homes for the unhoused, we have a community center and a department of tourism. Using buildings creatively to actually make this pedestrian utopia. It just makes me happy. And it's my favorite time. Let's turn up the music. Let's use some simple detailing and really make this whole area come to life. Oh, and stick around because on the other side of this detailing session, we are gonna build up the whole little community around this food forest.
Someone that could be my great love, right in front of me. I didn't realize you were my dream, so you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah. When I give you every part of me, I can't believe this is reality. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah. I'm just curious, when did you know you had feelings for me? Maybe somehow we've always known that we have chemistry, but always chasing after someone else. So this took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to.
I've just realized what a huge mistake I made. I planted trees. Too many trees. Now we can't grow food. Oh no. Is there a mod for this? Let me know. Oh no. All right, the trees have to go. Let's fix this.
Even in my wildest dreams.
I was so happy I found the right balance of trees to land we could farm on ratio. Although, please let me know if there is a mod that you can plant trees where you farm, because they really do bring so much life to a space. And then I checked out and we were making money with our farm finally. So this is exciting. Progress in the right direction. And before we move on to building the neighborhood that will surround this food forest, I wanted to think about pedestrian connectivity and just rounding out this area. So bring in more of these community gardens, a warehouse, just really pulling this all together. Special shout out to Cities Skylines, who actually is the one who designed all of these community gardens. So there's a small, medium, large. I love these. These are such great assets. You can connect paths directly up to them, and they are just, I feel like, so needed in this game. Large community gardens are awesome for any neighborhood. So if you haven't, his workshop is linked in the description below, and if you haven't, please go check it out. And he's got a lot of other fun assets as well. I always like mixing what we get with the industries DLC with the generic industry of that type. So I set up this warehouse for generic farming industry, and I just made sure to zone this area appropriately for that, and then zoned in some generic farming industry in this area. Like I said, I end up adding in some more community gardens, some warehouses, and just pull this whole space together. Let's jump in, turn up the music, and do a tiny bit of detailing here, and then we'll get on to building the community that's going to live around this food forest. So for this brand new little community that we're going to have adjacent to our food forest, this is just the start of it. We'll get going today and we'll finish out the rest the other day. But I wanted to think about creating a little bit of separation in between where the homes would be and the farming, just because there would be a little bit of noise and pollution. That was really important to me when approaching this neighborhood. And of course, walkability is always on the top of my mind. And then I went ahead and put schools out in this area. This is a great place to live. You could work at the farm right across the street, or you've got offices just on the other side. We don't have a lot of heavy education in this side of town yet, so it seemed fitting for the area. Again, as we approach every new neighborhood we build in our 15-minute city, is we think about making sure there's all the services our residents would need close by. So we've got a fire station, our cemetery, we've got medical and police, and then I want to put in some higher density commercial. We kind of need a nice little like miniature shopping center for this larger neighborhood we're going to end up building out, and this little corner is perfect for it. And then also just thinking about different types of housing as well. This is a great area in this like kind of little miniature town center hub to bring in some apartment buildings as well. And I'm really happy with how this little area of our community is starting to expand. Last episode, when we were building our hospital, we noticed that we had an issue with our transportation system, and I definitely want to do a complete transit overhaul, but I'd like to wait until I kind of have this side of our peninsula done and look at everything from a whole, because if some of you have been paying close attention to the comments, you might know that the freeway may or may not stay. So that's something that yeah, I would say the freeway's days are numbered at this point, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I want to kind of wait till we get to that, and because there's going to be a lot of restructuring if we do decide to do that, and I think it'll change how we look at our transportation in the city as well. Additionally, I would love your guys' help for name suggestions for our city. I haven't really been naming stuff. I've just been like focusing on building, and I realized we could really use some more name suggestions. So drop them in the comments below. All right, I'm gonna jump back into another detail session and really give this new little miniature town center, bring it to life, and also just kind of try to complete from here up to the freeway with some more details. And just, again, we're just bringing this whole area together and making it a place that we would want to live. Let's turn up the music and I'll catch you guys on the other side.
What you're putting in, all your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring?
Thank you so much to all of you who stood to the end. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, Raid Kitty is doing a really interesting series over on her channel called The Line. Similar concepts to walkability, but completely different. And she's facing some really unique challenges with using Cities Skylines in a way that I'm not having to here. And she's been chipping away at it. Go check it out because it's really fascinating. And she just had a episode this week all about walkable farms. So if you like this video, check out that video right here. I hope you all have a joyful day, and I'll catch you next time.